Also, I don't know if this is a good time to tell you, but you sound hollow. I don't know
I do
why.
sound hollow.
Yeah. You're
Swear
better
I
when you get
moved.
closer to your mic,
Yeah.
but every time you're just kind of like, you're all of a sudden, it sounds like you're in a box.
Yeah. I need to be in a box.
That's why I have these fancy things.
Does that sound better
That does sound a lot better.
than this?
Yes.
I had the microphone. I had it pointing the wrong way. Thank God I'm pretty. Jesus Christ. Woo.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared. And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Yay. Oh my God. I'm fucking bright. What the hell?
Yeah, man, you're blown out.
Wow. Wow. I moved my
I noticed.
thing. What the hell? Which one is it? Which one's blowing me out? That one?
It's that one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast Sunday.
It is Sunday.
A little different for us.
It is a little different.
Hold on.
Not like terrible, just different.
Just different. Oh my God. Okay. So we are back in 1992.
Yeah, we are.
The Cutting Edge. Now, I'm not allowed to say gay. I'm not allowed to say girly. I will say this. Okay, I will say this.
Yes.
Not too long ago, I'm watching Wonka for the new Wonka with Timothy Chalamet,
Timothée Chalamet.
which I'm not making fun of the name. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Awesome actor. He is great. I have liked him.
He is. He's a very talented actor.
And I'm watching Wonka, and I'm like, okay. No one told me this is a fucking musical.
Oh shit! You didn't know?
No. But a couple minutes later, they're cleaning and stuff and singing the song, and I'm like singing along with them with my 7-year-old. And I forgot the original Wonka with Gene Wilder was a musical as well.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm like, I think I like musicals because I really enjoyed Wicked. I do not like what's her name, but she was really good in it.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, actually, everyone in Wicked did it very well.
They are a very talented cast.
Yeah, it was a great cast, and they did a great job. And I think I like musicals, so yeah,
I'm excited.
I didn't hate this movie. I didn't love this movie either. But let's get into it. Okay, so before we do anything, let's take a look at the budget. The budget was, they're not telling me. I tried not to look at anything to be surprised, and I'm surprised. Oh, and the budget is not publicly available.
Makes sense.
Okay,
makes sense.
I wonder why. It didn't look like it would cost a lot. Although they did go a lot of outdoor shots. I think it was Boston and New York, and although that could have been very easily disguised. I'm pretty sure they didn't go to France to do the Olympics.
Oh fuck no, they didn't.
So it doesn't look like it was that inexpensive, and they spent most of the time in the barn.
Well, they also spent a lot of time. Well, yeah, in the barn, and then basically just around ice.
Yeah,
that was, and the way it's shot, you can tell they weren't doing it to have like a stadium filled with like, or an arena filled with, extras and stuff like that. And it was definitely I don't want to say a low budget, but a reasonable budget.
And it opened. I had it here. Where did I put it? God damn it! It made $25 $8.1 million worldwide. Actually, that's domestic. 1992,
Yeah.
there was no international. Not for this movie. Only few movies were able to do international. This one did not. It did open, however, on March 27th. Oh, it opened in 6th place. So not a good start, but only in 775 theaters.
Yeah.
And then it went up a bit, but it dropped to 8th. It did get more theaters, but it kept falling.
No, and it makes sense because this was okay. So when this movie came out, it was when figure skating was really beginning to get in. You were getting into that fever of figure skating, but that was still a very niche fandom.
Yeah.
So for figure skating, like this was the time of like the Christy Yamaguchis, the Elvis Stoikos. Like this is when it was really ramping up. This was only a couple years before Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. So there was definitely a popularity for figure skating. So I can see why they made this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that big just because it's not. The popularity of figure skating had skyrocketed, but figure skating already had such a small fandom before. And then when Tanya Harding took out Nancy Kerrigan, it kind of exploded a little bit and everybody was talking about it. Also, South Park. What would Brian Boitano do?
Yeah. That was awesome. And it's an MGM movie. Oh, here's a pet peeve of mine. I have MGM Plus.
Yes.
Yeah. The Cutting Edge Going for Gold was on MGM Plus.
Yes.
The Cutting Edge Chasing Something was on MGM Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting Edge Fire and Ice. I didn't even know they made 3 more Cutting Edge movies. The only Cutting Edge movie that wasn't on MGM Plus was this fucking movie.
Correct. It was on Super Channel.
It was on Super Channel, so I either had to, and I didn't want to go through that because I usually forget about signing up for the free trial.
Yeah.
I'm like, where does this $15 charge a month keep coming up on my bill? I tried to get my Apple to play on my Fire TV to rent it. That was becoming an issue. And I'm like, okay, for fuck's sakes, YouTube has it. Go on YouTube. Again, I get screwed with the $7.99 rental plus. It was $9 to rent the fucking thing.
Jesus.
Oh, I was so mad. I was so, again, mad before I even began to watch the movie.
Oh, I did not have that problem. I already had Super Channel because I like Super Channel has the most random, like ridiculous movies. A lot of a lot of just shit that you're like, my God, people are watching that. Let me watch it. So I have Super Channel. So I was like, oh, cool. You're already here. Let's go. Press play.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's too many streaming services. I saw a preview for, I can't remember his name. It's a movie called Homestead. It's about World War III starting, and this rancher has a big giant complex right on the Rocky Mountains or something along those lines. The main actor in it, he's fantastic. And it's not, I'm like, okay, where do I buy it? Where do I rent it? I'm like, Angel Studios. I'm like, oh, for fuck, that's another streaming thing. They're the ones that did that Freedom one with about all the kids being abducted in South America, which I saw, which a horrifying but great movie.
No, I believe you. It's just there was some stuff that was attached to that movie.
Yeah, it was.
Where I was like, I don't think I want to support that, but thanks anyways, guys. Appreciate you greatly.
And there's all these new streaming services. I'm like, I can't. And now I'm buying movies again. Oh, there you go. Look at.
There you go. Oh,
look at that.
Look at all of that.
Had to find them, and they're not mine. They're my wives.
Yeah, I noticed.
My wife.
Because I saw Sandra Bullock up there, and I was like, what?
Oh, Meg Ryan and Julia Roberts. And
yep.
Some other people. Yeah.
I see it all. I see it all happening.
Okay. So what do we think? The Cutting Edge.
Yeah.
Cutting Edge Rotten Tomatoes. Let's go to you. Let's share it for everybody. We'll watch it. Also,
I don't know if this is a good time to tell you, but you sound hollow. I don't know.
I do sound hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta buy.
You're better
I
when you get closer to your mic.
Yeah.
But every time you're just kind of like, you're all of a sudden, it sounds like you're in a box.
Yeah, I need to be in a box.
That's why I have these fancy things.
I'm either gonna get the curtain things like that for here,
Yeah.
or I saw one of those. It's like those styrofoam, but it's a little thing that you put around your desk, and you then put the microphone on, inside. That might be the cheaper route to go.
It might be. I just did this so that I don't have all of the sounds from my house coming in.
Yeah.
Sounds from my house are still coming in. I can still hear my dad watching TV upstairs. That's a decent score.
That is a decent score. I don't feel bad for kind of liking it. All right. So for reviewers, it's 35 reviews. It's at 57%, which is a lot higher than I thought this was going to get. For audience members, it's at 76%.
Which makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. All right. You may start with the good.
Okay. Ooh, this one's right up top. The dialogue sings, the direction is clean, and there are nearly countless moments that still stand out as iconic today. Liz Shannon Miller from LizShannonMiller.com. Original score, A-. Hey, Liz.
Sheila Johnston, Independent UK. The only thing that would have made this palatable in a mildly camp sort of way would have been the skating sequences. That's it. No score. She just didn't like it.
Yeah. That one's all right, but... Ooh, The Cutting Edge is an endlessly rewatchable, immensely enjoyable film that not only understands but embraces the fact that rom-coms are supposed to be fun. Josh Sorakash, Decider, and that review is actually from 2019, so I'm like, I like that you're just like pointing out it's supposed to be rewatchable.
Peter Canvas from Groucho Reviews. The only thing that would make The Cutting Edge more absurd would be if the final competition revolved around a potentially deadly, possibly illegal move called the Panchenko twist. Wait, it does. Never mind. 1.5 out of 4.
The movie is shamelessly watchable, romantic schlock for the sassy set. That's Owen Gleiberman. Entertainment Weekly, his original score was a B-. I like that.
Everyone except Sweeney and Kelly is excruciatingly bad. Small wonder spouting lines that crash like lead pucks onto the ice. Sky Staff, Sky Cinema, 1 out of 5.
The Cutting Edge, it isn't. But this nearly formulaic romantic comedy has a sharp enough combination of teen-oriented elements and style. That's from Variety staff for Variety, and they seem to like it.
Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times. There is essentially not an original moment in the entire film, and yet it's skillfully made and well acted. This is where I am leaning towards 2.5 out of 4. I already said Roger Ebert, yeah.
Let me see. Okay. A rare film where the actor's charisma overcomes leaden direction. D.B. Sweeney and Moira Kelly are wonderful. It's Jeffrey Westhoff from the Northwest Herald, and his original score was 4 out of 5.
This movie's flash dance on blades, an unending series of rock videos posing as a story. Desson Thompson, Washington Post. No score, he just doesn't like it.
Marjorie Baumgarten says, certainly The Cutting Edge is a well-timed vehicle for those who couldn't get enough of the Winter Olympics on TV, but it pushes past simple opportunism to deliver a backstage story that works in any season. Her original score was 2.5 out of 5. Girl, that's not a very high score.
Does that sound better?
That does sound a lot better.
Than this?
Yes.
I had the microphone. I had it pointing the wrong way. Thank God I'm pretty. Jesus Christ. I'm looking. I go. I can't see the volume, but that's why I sound hollow. And
that makes.
This sounds a little better then.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better. Also, It was hilarious because I saw the little green mic on the mic. So I was like, his mic is plugged in. Why does it sound like it's not? And that would be why. Thank you very much.
All right, maybe I don't have to buy anything. Maybe
we went to film school. We took a sound class.
Yeah. I didn't do very well at sound though. My defense.
I did well in
Actually, I did get a good mark. I just think Bernie. I think he gave everyone a good mark.
Bernie gave everybody. He was so understanding.
Yeah.
And he kind of did some of my tests for like the practical tests. Because I'd start setting it up and he'd be like, Bernie, is this right?
Yeah.
He'd be like, well, Anna, I mean, you're almost there. I'm like if I move the light here, is that? He's like, very good. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The Cutting Edge on IMDb, 24,000 reviews, comes in at 6.9. Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
You may start with 10.
All right.
This is the best movie ever.
No.
How the
Although it is an excellent coming of age romantic comedy. At least that's what P. Baker, Texas. I'm assuming that's Texas because it says TX. It's a lot of Gouge Away has a very brave take saying the most underrated film of all time. I think that might be a step too far, sir.
Oh, here we go. Wow. Okay, this is a little longer for IMDb, but it's worth saying. Wow, I always thought I was strange for watching this movie 14 times in one day. I have a feeling most of you are women. I am a man. It's one of the best rom-coms I've ever seen. Holy Gallery, 9 out of 10. Dude. Hey, if you like it, you like it. What? I could not watch this 14 times in a day. Oh my God.
No, I could not either. However, I have watched it twice since Friday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I watched it on Friday. We rescheduled to record today. And then I was
to get it fresh?
I was like, let me rewatch for freshness. And I wasn't mad about it. Like if I didn't like it, it was very rewatchable and it still made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So that's all I'm going to say. At 8 out of 10,
yep,
we have Canuck Teach saying sweet and more nifty one-liners than you may recall, which is true because all I recalled originally was Topic.
Surprisingly good for a formula movie. Yeah, this was paint by numbers. But anyway, 100%. IMDb 21622, 7 out of 10.
Decent sports movie about figure skating and coming of age, 6 out of 10 from Wuchak.
I only have 2 5 out of 10s here. A mediocre movie with a few great moments between the two leads. The two leads were good for a rom-com. Yeah. I'm not a rom-com fan, but I don't hate them. I can watch them. She was hot. I don't care what.
She was so hot.
And you know what's really weird about going back to the 90s and 80s is that everyone has normal teeth. So they're not pearly white. They're like, yes. But when you're watching it on the big, I have a 65-inch TV. I'm like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with their teeth? Oh, they're normal.
There are no neon white like veneers.
No,
like it's very disconcerting because now you realize how many people have fixed their teeth.
Yeah,
that are on TV and in films. You don't even realize it until you see like normal teeth, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like regular people. Teeth. What?
Like she's gorgeous. And I remember having a crush on her when I was a kid and watched this. But when she smiled, I was like, oh, what the fuck's wrong? What are you, British?
Oh my God.
But then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They're just normal teeth.
They're just normal teeth.
They're a little, they weren't completely straight. They weren't completely blindingly white. They were just normal teeth.
I think that's also what's
weird.
Really fucked you up. Like, because there's normal white teeth. And then there's, oh my God, my eyes, white teeth. And that's what we have now so much.
Yeah.
Super fucking weird.
I'm thinking about my teeth done. I'm going to tell my dentist, when I smile, I want a bing coming out the corner of my one tooth. Like as soon as the light hits it, it just shines right off of it.
I can't wait to see that.
Some people get their teeth way too white. It looks ridiculous.
And some people's veneers.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, that's not what they're meant for. Anywho.
Okay, what are we on?
4 out of 10. 4. Strictly by the numbers. It was the only 4 out of 10. That's from Boyo 2. We appreciate you, Boyo.
I love this movie when I was like 7. I thought it was awesome. I think I really liked this movie because it was about skating, but the cutting edge isn't so cutting edge anymore. Nikki Chicken, 3 out of 10.
I have only 2 out of 10, and it's literally good idea for a movie. Carolyn McAvoy. Good idea for a movie. I like that.
Predictable, boring, and unoriginal. Fight Ganache 00. And what is this? Trying to watch this is one jarring and grating music montage after another. There was a lot of montages this, but it's 1992. Between it was the montage time. And 97, there were a lot of montages.
They loved a montage. And I started laughing about it because at first it was you can't really call the first hockey game a montage, but it kind of is. You're kind of feeling it. You're like, okay. Anyways, there's a lot of like cuts and fast movements. So I was like, okay. And then there was the toe pick montage. And then there was
the toe pick montage. Yeah.
The toe pick montage was the first montage. And then there was all the training montages. And I was like, oh, another montage.
And then it was they're getting, what are they called when you do your skit, not your oh, for fuck's sakes, what they actually do in competition? They're
the rehearsal?
No, that's not a rehearsal. It's their
short program.
Yeah, their program. They're what they're going to be doing. Then there was those montages as well.
Yes, of the competition, the competition montage.
Yeah,
where you see like clips of the other teams going, and I'm like, fuck, man. Sometimes I miss a classic montage where I'm like, look, this movie feels incredibly dated. It is not one that's timeless.
We did American Pie 2, and it had a montage for 2001 or whatever that when that was made. So no, they didn't have this many montages, but
montages serve a purpose. 100%. This one just chose many montages to serve multiple purposes.
All right, so last week after our show, we watched the trailer. So we are not, am I forgetting anything? We got reviews, we got budget. This was obviously rated G or PG.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely family fare.
Oh no, it might be PG because PG, there was some sexual suggestions.
Yeah. Okay, PG. It was long too, wasn't it?
An hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It didn't seem
too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. Oh, here, I'm getting a thing here that says 3 million. Nope, that's for a different movie. Never mind. All right, we're going to do the trailer. When we get back, we will take a look at the movie. Okay, we do have a problem with the movies. Next week, we are supposed to be watching Sylvester Stallone's I See You, which cannot be found anywhere. What? Not anywhere. And to buy it, to find it, is very expensive to get it.
Never mind.
And I remember liking it. I don't know if I remember liking it that much. It could be one that we can, if it pops up, we can do it then. But yeah, it's not on Plex. It's not on Roku. It's not on Tubi. It's not on Apple. It's not on anything.
That sucks.
So we have to go right ahead to our next movie, which would have been the week after. And I don't know how excited I am about watching this movie.
What are we watching?
The Cutting Edge.
Yes!
A 1990s skating movie. Not just a figure skating movie. Uh-huh. This is okay, so what do you remember about The Cutting Edge?
I remember having an obsession. Is it D.B. Sweeney?
Yes.
Yes.
He was pretty big back then.
He was. This was in like the height of his popularity. And I loved him. I had such a crush on him. And this was also because, when you're younger, you're like, figure skating. If you're a girl.
Yeah,
that was really pushed because, no, he plays a hockey player in this movie.
Yes, he plays for Boston. I remember that.
Yes. And then there's a figure skater and then they pair up for figure skating and he has to learn how to figure skate. I don't know why, but he does. And then he has to learn what a toe pick is. I had a conversation about that when I went roller skating a few weeks ago. Never doing that again. Although I want to do it again anyways, that's not the point. The point is they eventually fall in love. It's an enemies to lovers trope-filled movie, and they kick ass at the skating and the figuring. And
Sounds awesome.
you're gonna hate this movie.
I know I'm gonna hate this fucking movie.
To be perfectly honest, sometimes I pick these movies just because I'm like, yeah, he's gonna hate it.
Yeah, this sounds great.
I know.
All right. I do remember he played for Boston. I do remember he was a pretty big player in the movie, and something happened to his eye, and his career he tried to come back and he couldn't. His eye fucked him up. Then someone approached him because he's such a strong skater and said, "Hey, you thought about figure skating?" And that's about, and I remember little bits of, I haven't seen this movie since the 90s.
I probably saw it in the early to mid 2000s the last time. Like, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
But I remember loving it. Like, really loving it.
I remember it was pretty popular. Let's get rid of this.
Yeah. Moira Kelly was such a great bitch in it.
Yeah, and I do remember that she didn't want it because he was a hockey player. She was kind of stuck up on it. Yeah.
She was very stuck up. She was very elitist. She's like, he's not going to be able to do this. And it was great.
All right. Well, let's.
It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just about 4 hours late here, Rita.
Rita.
Anita.
Gita. Gita.
Close.
Olympic star Doug Dorsey is the best hockey player in America, and he's about to retire. Kate Moseley was America's sweetheart.
Until Hercules here learns how to lock his grip, this will have to do.
And she's got a nickname that rhymes with rich.
What a thing.
For both of them, the Olympics had become a faraway dream.
Here, you try.
Until someone
Those are figure skates, pal.
set up the ultimate blind date.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm a guy who came a long way from lunch.
Please don't let me keep you from the trough.
Enough!
The king of the rink and America's ice queen just became a team.
Don't quit your day job. Would you please put me down? You frightened.
Guess that move needs some work. You've been doing what? I've been doing figure skating. Finger painting?
As a matter of fact, I do have a boyfriend.
What do you do, keep him chained up in the basement? I don't like to see her upset. If I was you, I'd invest in blindfolds. Are they going to get it before they kill each other?
You look really nervous. How nervous are you?
Dorsey and Moseley, the American Olympic team's best shot at the goal.
You're falling for him.
Oh, that's crazy. In case you've missed it, I'm throwing myself at you. Get out of my way.
No problem. I've been practicing that move for 1.5 years.
D.B. Sweeney,
Man, would I love to see you play hockey.
Moira Kelly,
Any day.
The Cutting Edge.
It's not like his nose was perfect.
You were so gonna hate this.
God, let me guess. They get together and win the gold. Fuck.
To be honest, I don't know. I don't remember that part.
This looks so 90s too.
Oh,
I
my God.
love the 90s because that's kind of my decade. That's where, but it wasn't the greatest for movies. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a ton of amazing.
There are great movies
in the 90s.
from the 90s, yeah.
But a lot of it was so golly,
There's a lot of
gee
shit movies,
gosh.
too.
This, who knows? It might be all right. I think
it's gonna be great. I think you're gonna love it.
I don't think I'm gonna love it.
I think you're gonna love it.
Yeah, you never know. Next week I could come up here like, oh, let's buy it. I wouldn't bet on it. All right, so we'll go watch Cutting Edge, and when we'll come back, we will review it. All right.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat, and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
There we go.
Much better.
There we go. Okay, so you watched The Cutting Edge from 1992. I watched The Cutting Edge from 1992. What are your initial thoughts?
It is a sweet rom-com, still entertaining. I'm not as obsessed with it as I was back then.
No.
No. But good. It was and rewatchable.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And yeah, he didn't play for the Boston Bruins. He was from Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing on the Olympic team. This is before the pros could play.
Yeah.
In the Olympics.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It is a good family movie. It is good for kids. Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't hate it. I've been bored with a lot more comms than this one. Yeah, because the skating was good.
The skating was great,
but it was very paint by the numbers. But the two leads were they had chemistry. They did a good job.
They had really, really good chemistry, and there was a good supporting cast. I mean, it was a good movie. Obviously, it could have been better, but it gave us the ending we all wanted, and that's all that matters.
Well, we'll get there because I did actually like. Well, I did and I didn't. Well, we'll get there. Okay.
Yeah, no, same. I have a beef about the ending.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, but then I'm like, well, wait a minute.
We might have the same beef, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, so let me bring this up. Wikipedia. Okay. Kate Moseley is a world-class figure skater representing the United States in the pairs event at the 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary. She has genuine talent, but years of being spoiled by her wealthy widower father, Jack, have made her impossible to work with. The movie sets this up great.
Yes.
Of actually both characters. They let you see who these characters are.
Mm-hmm.
And they go actually quite in depth with it. It's not like a 2-minute, 3-minute thing.
No, it's actually a good chunk of the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
You're meeting them at the 1988 Olympics.
Yeah.
And you're seeing who they are and kind of what their personalities are.
Yes. Doug Dorsey is captain of the U.S. ice hockey team at the same Winter Olympics. Just minutes before a game, he and Kate collide in a hallway in the arena. This is when he was sleeping with Gita.
It is Gita. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't know her name.
Yes. And also he was like, I needed the alarm for 9. And she's like, yeah, 9 alarm. And I was like, oh, I get it. No alarm.
And then they bump into each other. And he's like, which way to the actual rink? And she's all mad because he's not apologizing.
Is that all you have to say? Yes. And which way to the ice?
And actually, before that, we got to see her practicing with her teammate partner. Yep. And she's saying that he's not doing it properly and they can't complete the routine. That's the word I was looking for. Complete the routine because he's not doing it properly. During the hockey game, Doug suffers a head injury that permanently damages his peripheral vision, costing him a shot to play in the NHL and forcing him to retire from hockey.
Can I just say, as someone who's been watching a lot of hockey lately, that one scene really enraged me because I was like, yo, that's a dirty hit. That's a dirty hit. Did somebody call the penalty? And that was all I could think about. And it overtook my mind. I was like, yes, he's on the floor and he's dazed. But I'm like, what was the call?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how much the director and the producers gave a shit about or thought anyone with any real hockey knowledge was going to watch this movie.
It was a bit of a problem because then you see like all the other, like the German, I think they were playing against Germany, all the German players taking off their helmets and just watching. I was like, yo, because this is when the German player usually like rocks up to the American player and says, hey man, I didn't mean to hit that hard. You do the like, no, I didn't mean it, even though you totally did and we all saw it.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of hockey lately, so I was like, but what was the call? And that's not the point, Anna. Keep watching the movie.
During Kate's event, her partner apparently accidentally drops her, albeit with a little sign of regret or concern during the program, costing them a chance at the gold medal.
I had a problem with this.
Well, they show that she wasn't connecting with his when he was holding her up.
Yeah.
She was trying to find her footing.
And I was like, isn't her toe pick literally going into his back?
Yeah.
I was like, that's got to be weirdly uncomfortable. I wouldn't be able to hold anybody up if they were stabbing me in the back.
And then we have Doug going to the specialist, and he's like, the doc's like, you've lost 18% or something of your peripheral vision. And he's like, okay, so when's it come back? He's like, it doesn't. And he's like, well, there's got to be some sort of surgery. And then I'm like, there probably is. But then I'm like, this is 1992.
It's 1992. Yeah. He does suggest lasers.
Yep.
He's like, isn't there a laser? And then there was something about like shark piss being shot up into his eyeball in Mexico. It was like, and then he's like, and then you're in traction for like 8 months. The doctor's like, there's nothing.
I don't know how much traction you'd be in with your eye being just worked on.
For reals. What? But I was like, dude, he's really reaching. Like, he wants this. And I'm like, I get it. Like, everybody was basically saying, you're going to go pro. Like, the NHL is sniffing around.
And then we have, and then it's 3 years later.
2 years later.
2 years later? 2 years later, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
While training for the 1992 Winter Olympics over the next 2 years, Kate drives away all potential skating partners with her attitude and perfectionism. Well, that poor one guy at the beginning where we get the 2 years later, they're both spinning and he collapses. He's just soaked with sweat. And she's just going faster and faster. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's someone who's in peak physical condition.
Oh my God.
I could never. I'd
throw up.
Well, it's a lot of spinning on ice, on blades. I'm like, and this guy's supposed to be her possible new partner. And he can't keep up. I was like, oh, kid, just go home. And she looks at him with such disdain. That's one thing I will give for Moira Kelly in this movie. Like the withering look she gives to people. I'm like, oh God, you're such a great bitch.
Yeah, her and what's her name from Dirty Dancing?
Jennifer Grey.
Yeah, they're really good at it.
Yeah,
in their movies. Her coach, Russian native Anton Parchenko, has to find a replacement, an outsider who doesn't know that Kate is spoiled and difficult. He tracks down Doug, who is back home in Minnesota, working in a steel mill and as a carpenter on the side, living with his brother and playing in a hockey bar league. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's still trying to make it in the NHL. He's playing a bar league. He's arguing with his brother. His brother's telling him, you're not going to make it. Give it up.
Yeah. His brother is the ultimate. It's done. Now help me in the bar.
Yeah. He's a kind of shift.
But he's still hoping. He's still sending out letters. I have a feeling because I heard this. Oh, there were 26 teams, which is weird. So in 1992, oh, but I guess this would have no, it's supposed to take place in 1992. Is it? No, it's supposed to take place in 1990.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Apparently there were 21 teams in 1990. Yeah. But he got 23 letters.
Interesting.
Because
they did it in 1992.
Yeah. So the brother said, here's your 23rd letter.
Yeah.
And it was from the Detroit Red Wings. And he looked so sad when he read that. And I was like, oh, boo-boos.
Yeah, you're not going to the NHL.
No.
Or the regular 21 or the pretend 23. The two that haven't happened yet. Desperate for another chance at Olympic glory, Doug agrees to work as Kate partner, even though he has macho contempt for figure skating.
That goes across the board because the amount of smack that is or was talked about figure skating, especially from hockey players, I was like, dude, sometimes a figure skater, especially a male one, has to carry their partner across the ice.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes doing little hops.
Yeah.
And that partner's weighing 120 pounds because they're solid muscle. They might be tiny, but they're solid muscle. I'm like, do you know how fucking hard that is?
Yeah, you're still lifting like 80, 90, 100 pounds up over your head and spinning around.
Yeah, spinning around.
It's still foo-foo.
Little jumps.
But it's not easy foo-foo.
In time to music.
Yeah.
Hockey players don't have to do that shit. Although sometimes you do have like a 220-pound man slam you against the boards.
Yeah.
That is also difficult to take. I'm just saying.
We also see where the first they go, he tries out, doesn't work out. The father is trying to just give him some money, thank him for coming out, give him a plane ticket, and then they end up talking, and he ends up, much to her surprise, staying as her partner, basically because there's no one left.
But he also makes a bet where he's like, he holds up the check and he's like, double or nothing. And I was like, oh, this is going to come back to bite him in the ass later. Because I remember they fall in love. So I'm like, this is going to be a thing. It was not a thing. Spoiler alert.
No. Kate's snooty prima donna behavior gets on his nerves immediately. And their first few practices, montage, do not go well as they antagonize each other. However, they develop a mutual respect as both strive to outdo each other in work ethic. I will say this, the montage shows them really working at it.
Yes.
Like they're fucking skating, they're running, they're lifting weights, they're treadmilling. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
They're getting up at 6:30 in the morning, and at one point she makes mention of like, or he makes mention of like 15-hour days.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, she's falling asleep at the table. That was part of the funny.
That was actually funny when she fell asleep and just slammed her fucking face off.
Her head just falls right into that plate. I was like, oh, that's gotta hurt. Yeah, no, but it was good because you see it's part I want to be great for both of them. Like both of them have the I want to be great. And then both of them are also like, I want to be better than you.
Yeah.
And you see it when they're like the disappointment when she like gets up and she goes into the building and he's already there and she's like, ah. And then you see it when he walks into the building and she's already there, already skating. And it's a great little like rivalry partnership. I like it.
Yeah, it's not mentioned here, but then he's like, love to see you play hockey. And she's like, anytime, any day. They do play hockey. And he just walks around like just.
He wipes the place with her. Like he just wipes it out.
And she gets all pissy and slap shots. And the puck goes right out and hits him right in the fucking eye.
Hits him right in the. I know. And I was like, man, she was angry. That must have hurt.
And then they're waiting at the hospital. And it was a funny.
Yeah.
Funny thing. Yeah.
She's a little concerned.
As the relationship grows warmer, they learn to set aside their differences, becoming a pair to be reckoned with both on and off the ice. Kate even boldly defends Doug to her former coach who patronizes her and insults them. And Doug defends his unusual choice of sport to his own family and friends whom he had expected to mock him. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, of course.
Not as bad as you would think.
No, they came around real quick.
Real quick,
was nice. Because let me tell you, there would be a lot of smack talk. But yeah. Barry Flatman, who everybody has seen, plays the coach, Rick Tuttle, and he was a douchebag coach, which is very prevalent in figure skating. Because apparently, for a very long time, emotional abuse was a like tried and tested like training method for figure skaters, and he really like held on to that.
That's where we got our greats.
It was that was also where they got their drug problems.
Yes. Yeah.
Just it's a problem. But yeah, no, it's nice to see, like they give you a little like insight into like Doug's home life, where he apparently told them he was joining the Merchant Marines.
Yeah.
And then he had to break it to, they were like, no, man, I'm figure skating. And someone yells out from the back, finger painting?
Yeah.
They're like, no, figure skating. And then he actually has to like sit his brother down and explain that this is fucking hard. And I could win a medal. Like this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then telling off the coach, Kate telling off the coach and being like, the first time you said we have a lot of work to do. And I was 9 years old. I was like, yo, man, that's harsh. But she's like, fuck him. He's great. He's so good. He's going to make you cry. I was like, I feel like that line could have been rewritten. Yeah, but I understand the sentiments.
Yeah. The script was not perfect in this movie.
No. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible, no.
But it was not great. It was
No.
not great.
At the new U.S. Nationals, despite strong performances in the short program and the long program, they seemed to place third, shattering their Olympic dreams. However, when one of the leading pairs falls during the competition, they advance to second place, earning their spot on the Olympic team. Don't they have a thing before that where they... Oh, no, they place third the one night, and then they get a chance. The top three get another chance the next night, and then they still place third.
Doug has this whole thing because normally you do your show, all the short programs are on one day, and then all the long programs are in the next day. So the long program, I think, is like a 4-minute skate. Feel free, everybody, to let me know if I'm wrong. Write in a comment, because the short program is like 2.5 minutes. Long program is only like 3 or 4 minutes. It's just a little bit longer and usually has more jumps. But yeah, so all the short programs go on one day, all the long programs on the next. And Doug complains. He's like, why can't we just get it all done in one day? Like, just back to back, get it done. Why we got to put it off another night?
However, their potential is threatened by their growing attraction to each other. Kate attempts to seduce Doug after a night of drunken celebration. That was actually pretty funny too. Not like hilarious, but it was amusing.
No, I really enjoyed her getting drunk, because that really is someone who's never had a drink before.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever sit down with someone who's made it to adulthood and has never had a drink, and they're like, I want to try it. You're like, all right, let's go. And they're super brave stars until they're puking on their shoes.
Revealing that she broke off her engagement to wealthy financier Hale Forrest. Yes, that's right. Sorry, everyone. She was engaged.
She was engaged.
She had a boyfriend that we saw. Yeah.
He worked in the London office of her dad's business. He only came in every once in a while. He started sniffing out the attraction before she figured it out.
Yes. Usually a ladies' man, Doug uncharacteristically rebuffs her advances, fearing the possibility of regret and loss of respect for each other. When that Doug has betted another woman, a rival skater, almost immediately after leaving her to sleep off her intoxication, she becomes enraged. However, the temporary rift is set aside as they attempt to train in a risky skating move invented by Pamachenko, which will assure them a gold medal if they can pull it off without serious injury.
Hey,
on paper it sounds stupid. Actually, when you watch it's kind of stupid too, but
it's a little bit stupid because he was putting down paper with the sketches of the move, the Pamchenko, which is basically like turns and tosses and catches and hops and all of this. It was very complicated.
And I've seen that before, where especially where they grab her legs and spin around in the head. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't.
There have been some like injuries.
Oh, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Her head bounced off that ice.
All incredibly dangerous. And then he's like, by the way, here's this move. And she's like, it's illegal. He's like, not really.
Kinda, maybe, sort of.
Not really. But he puts the paper with the sketches of the move down on the ice. And I was like, it's going to get wet. That was all I could think. Paper's going to get wet. But those are originals. Those are not copies. It's going to get wet. I got so fixated on that. I'm like, pick up the papers. Do the move. But they do train to do the move. And I thoroughly enjoy it.
At the finals at the Albertville Olympics, they look to be one of the top pairs competing for the gold. However, another argument threatens their chemistry on the ice. And in the process, Doug and Kate both discover that Kate is the fallible partner after all. Yes, they argue and then they do their first short program routine.
Yes.
And then even the announcers are like, oh, it just doesn't seem like they have.
But they get really great, like very high marks.
They do get high marks. And then they go and have dinner and everyone, they just start arguing with each other because he watched the video and he's like, he didn't screw up, her old partner. She screwed up. And she's like, yeah, I suck. And
well,
you're a terrible father. And I'm
they fought and fought about it. And he was like, yeah, you're the bum. Like, you're the one that is screwing this up. Because he was saying it to her dad.
Yeah.
And her dad's like, what? But she wants this. And she's like, no, I don't.
No.
I just thought I had to. Because mom liked the skate. And I thought I was I don't want to do this. And then she makes the harrowing decision to retire. It's going to be her last skate.
Before getting on the ice for their decisive performance, Doug professes to Kate that he has fallen in love with her. He just banged a chick like 12 hours ago.
Look, sex and love can't be separated.
Leaving Kate overcome with emotion, and she decides they're going to do the Panchenko. This is so corny. And he's like, you can't, you can get hurt. And he goes, we have to because I love you. And I'm like, fuck me. This got really, really corny really quick. They proceed to skate with a passion neither had shown before, performing the Panchenko flawlessly to win them the gold medal. It doesn't say if they won the gold medal.
No, it doesn't. And
okay,
that was my beef.
Yes, here it is. They said flawlessly to win the gold medal. If you are listening and you're remembering the movie, they don't tell you they won the gold. They end the movie kissing, don't they? After they perform?
Yes, which fulfills the dream of every double skating fan, because they do these really great performances, especially like ice dancers and stuff like that, like figure skaters when it's pairs. They do these really great, like, and they're super in sync, and then they usually end the routine with a very like intense stare into each other's eyes, like they're always looking at each other
for making out with each other.
I don't think you lose points.
Oh, maybe
I don't think you get any points, but everybody always wants them to kiss, even if you logically know that the male partner is gay.
Yeah, he's gay,
and the female partner is married to a whole other person.
Yeah, they still want
you're still kiss. Like, but kiss.
Yeah,
so that it was a very satisfying ending in that, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, and that's I kind of had a problem. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You don't know if they have the goal, and then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I spent an hour and 49 fucking minutes watching this thing. You could at least give them the gold medal.
I want to know. If they had gone to black on the kiss and then come back up with them on the podium, that would have been enough for me.
Yeah, this is not a fucking Quentin Tarantino movie.
No.
This is a goofy rom-com. You could have given the gold medal. It wouldn't make the movie anywhere. Like, they sold out at the end. They gave them the gold. No, give them the gold medal.
Give them the gold. Give them the silver. I don't even fucking care. Just tell me where they ended up.
Yeah.
In the scores. Like, they were scoring incredible. Like, their short program score was fucking phenomenal. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, if they skate really well in the long program, they're gonna be on the podium.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to know what kind of medal they got.
Kate tells Doug.
Tell me.
She also loves him, and they kiss each other before the cheering crowd. And that is our movie. Like I said, we don't know if they got the gold. Let's assume they did.
I'm assuming in my heart of hearts, they are gold medal winners.
All right. What's your score?
My score, you know what? This is a solid rent it. It is very rewatchable, but it's also very dated. And it is formulaic, and it is paint by numbers. Like, there are lots of other films, rom-coms, that are probably more entertaining or more interesting. This is just a sweet enemies to lovers, like, sporty rom-com. We're gonna go with sporty because it didn't really focus on the sport itself, but the sports were there every single day. It was fun. It was very 90s.
Oh yeah.
So many montages.
Yeah.
So, and the soundtrack is not the greatest.
No.
But it's a great watch. And if I had paid, say, $5 to rent it, I would not be mad. Not even.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solid rent it. I think people will enjoy it. And as I said, I've now watched it twice this weekend. So, and I liked it both times. Is it my favorite? No. Am I thinking to myself, God, I want to watch this every week? No. But it was nice. It was sweet. And I was rooting for the couple, and I wanted them to get together. And they are very entertaining when they're fighting with each other. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going with a solid rent it. What's your score?
Well, I did rent it, and I paid with taxes $9.08. I was upset. I didn't hate this movie. This is not my type of movie, but I wasn't mad that I watched it. I was mad that I paid that much money for it, but It's weird. For me, I would say if you're a guy and you remember liking it, you're probably still going to like it. If you remember thinking, I remember kind of being okay, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get probably what you remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bad. It's not a bad movie. I wouldn't rent it. I would stream it. But I will say this. Kids would probably, especially if you have girls. Little girls would probably love this movie, eat this movie up. Your wife would probably love this movie, eat this movie. Your gay partner would probably love this movie, eat this movie up. If you're forced to, if they're like, oh, we're going to watch Cutting Edge, it's not that bad. It's not like they're going to go, oh my God. It's, because that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, oh my God. And then it's like, oh my God, it's an hour and 49 minutes. Jesus Christ. No, it wasn't that bad. It's a solid stream, and it's a pleasant stream.
Yeah, it's a fun little rom-com with some sweet moments, some funny moments. Is it the best movie I've ever seen? No. Is it the best sports movie I've ever seen? No.
No.
But it's a very pleasant, like, hour and 40-ish minutes.
Yeah. It's one of the better rom-coms.
Yeah.
Especially for a 90s rom-com.
True story.
Yeah, no, it was an enjoyable stream for me.
It also had me Googling, like, the most random shit. Because they're like, ooh, amateur hockey player. And I was like, oh, right. When were NHL players finally allowed to play in
Oh, and
the
when he
Olympics?
got hit? Oh, yeah, I don't agree with that. He should still be an amateur playing in the Olympics. But when he got hit and that helmet fell off, I was like, that's a flimsy-ass fucking helmet.
Right? I was like, what kind of helmet is that?
Christ.
I'm like,
you could
when
cut
did
that
they
up with
start-
scissors.
I was like, when did they start using face guards? Like, what? Like the shields. I was like, I was like, what the fuck? That was weird. And I was like, why does he look like he's about to go skateboarding? What the?
Yeah.
And then there was what else?
Tony
was I
Hawk
Googling?
had a better helmet.
Right. So I was Googling when NHL players could start. I was also Googling like how many teams were there in 1990.
I also Googled her, and I didn't know she was in the Lion King.
Oh, I didn't know
she
that.
was the girl.
Nala.
So
interesting. I didn't know that.
No. And she's actually been quite busy.
She has.
She has been in quite a few things.
She's done a lot of stuff, and now she does a lot of like TV movies, which I fully appreciate. I love her. She's also still like crazy hot. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's super hot. Yeah,
Still super
it's
hot.
like she looks a lot like she does in this movie.
Yes,
Like
and
you can tell she has aged, but she hasn't aged a lot.
No, she's 57 years old.
Yeah, and she does not look 57 years
And
old.
DB Sweeney is 63, and I will tell you right now, I have a
That's
funny
pretty
little
good for
feeling.
her.
I think he's done a little bit of work,
Oh, maybe.
but
Yeah.
not a lot. Because look, he looks good. He looks real good. He also looks real smooth. Like there's a lot of smoothness. He looks like he's a
Yeah.
walking filter. So I mean, I'm just saying. I think he's had a little bit, but it still looks appropriate. He hasn't fucked up his face. Like he still looks normal. And I appreciate that about him. So thank you, DB Sweeney, for continuing my cute little crush. Because every time he pops up on screen, I'm like, toe pick. In anything else he does, toe pick.
Yeah, that was actually in the montage too. Every time he'd fall because he didn't know how to do the toe pick, and you just hear toe pick. And
Toe pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See him get more pissier and pissier.
Toe picks are hard.
I can imagine. Yeah, so there we have it. We have a solid rented, and an enjoyable stream. I was surprised.
I'm
I
surprised too.
Think I would have liked this movie as much as I did. Again, it's not going to be in my top 10, but it's
No.
not going to be in my top 10 hated either.
Yeah, no, I totally thought you would hate it.
I thought I would
It's
too.
it's a little schmaltzy.
Oh, it is very schmaltz. Not a little, it's a lot.
So that's why I thought you would hate it, because I remember it being like just a really sweet movie.
Yeah.
Like and fun
But the two leads
bickering.
were like,
They had
Roger
great
Ebert was
chemistry.
right. Everyone else wasn't that great in this movie.
Yeah.
The two leads, DB Sweeney and they were very good. They were
So
good. They had a lot of chemistry in this movie
And
made it very believable.
the supporting cast, like
It was
with
okay.
Roy Dotrice, Terry O'Quinn, like the ones that you saw the most, the dad and the coach, Pamchenko.
Yeah.
Those were great supports. Everybody else was kind of generic.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. You did your job. But yeah, honestly, Moira Kelly and DB Sweeney had great chemistry, like incredible chemistry. Maybe the next Cutting Edge sequel will have their kid ice skating / playing
There's
hockey.
3 more of them. I didn't know.
No, I knew there were more. And that was another thing I looked up because I was like, when did they do the next sequel for this? And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah, they wait till
years later.
Yeah. I don't know. Why would you wait? Because I'm sure they did very well at Blockbuster or whatever. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was because it was a Disney thing. And because in the next sequel, it was Christy Carlson Romano, who was a Disney actor. I think Disney bought the rights to it. I think that was it because she was a Disney kid actor. And you know how Disney rolls. If you're popular on the TV on Disney, then they put you in movies. Thank you, Cadet Kelly, for Hilary Duff. Still one of my favorite movies. Also, Christy Carlson Romano is in that too.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't seen Cadet Kelly in forever. Oh, I'm totally going to watch that this weekend.
And thank you for coming back to 1992 and watching The Cutting Edge. We have a rent it and a stream it. All right. So until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,